Another day and night of rage in Beirut. Protesters stormed government buildings and banks as their fury reached boiling point. Tuesday's massive explosion reignited their disdain for those in power. For many, it deepened already existing distrust for leaders who they say are incompetent and corrupt. The country was already struggling through a deepening financial crisis, making the recovery from this disaster that much harder. The desperation was clear. We no longer have money. The leaders don't care about the people. No food, no houses. More than 300,000 people lost their homes after the explosion, in addition to the depreciation of the lira. Anger transformed the city, making it unrecognisable to the devastating scenes from just days earlier. Police fired tear gas amidst the chaos, trying to regain control. Thousands marched through the streets of the capital. Some set up symbolic nooses to hang politicians whose corruption and negligence they blame for the explosion. They want the government out.
I am here because of this devastation explosion that we just witnessed in Lebanon that was a result of complete neglectness and corruption and hypocrisy. I am here hoping we can do a change. First of all, we have to change the government. We have to change how we elect our parliament. We have to change everything. People are dying from hunger and this is unacceptable.
Prime Minister Hassan Diab says the only solution is to hold early elections. He says that's how change will happen, although it's unlikely to put out the fires on the streets of Beirut. The government has also promised to find those responsible. With hundreds of thousands left homeless and many with loved ones still missing, it offers little comfort.
Well, for more on the situation in Beirut, let's bring in our correspondent, Rassan Salman. Rassan, the anger and the violence we witnessed last night is not just about the explosion, is it?
Well, Anthony, people have been furious a very long time ago since the October uprising. After yesterday's protest, at least 728 people were wounded and a police officer was dead. The security forces, they were deploying tear gas on thousands of protesters as they were trying to break through the barrier to get to the parliament. And they succeeded in storming so many ministries and government buildings, as well as the bank association. Is this going to be contained? We have no idea. But as we were covering on the ground yesterday, we noticed that this was already prepared from before. There was a coordination between three groups of protesters. There was a group who was confronting the security forces. Another group was storming the bank association, and the third group was storming the ministries, and they were able to take over the ministries for a while before the NAF and the ISF, the Lebanese army, and the internal security forces could take control again.
Prime Minister Hassan Diab has called for early elections. Is that going to be enough to calm the anger of the Lebanese people?
Well, Anthony, even after the statement of the Prime Minister Hassan Diab yesterday, this did not calm the anger of people. And as we were talking to people, there were concerns that the sectarian-based political system in Lebanon and the electoral law will not even allow the independent candidates to succeed in the elections.
We're expecting a donors' conference later today, organised by the French president and the head of the United Nations. How confident will the Lebanese people feel that those funds will be fairly and properly used?
Well, Anthony, after the latest explosion on Tuesday, Lebanese, they completely lost the trust in their government's ability and competence to manage the country. And this was clear after they took over the Ministry of Foreign Affairs yesterday, claiming that they want the relationship with the foreign countries to be with the people and not with the politicians. And they don't want the aid to reach what they call the corrupt hands of their own leaders.
Razan Salman in Beirut, thank you so much.